Welcome to Hopeful and Wholesome, the show where ambitious women come home to their bodies. I'm your host, Hope Pedraza, and I'm a functional practitioner, human design guide, and expert on all things energy, and your partner in decoding the language of your body. This is your space to reconnect with your body's wisdom, reclaim your energy, and rise into alignment in your health, your business, and your life. Because thriving isn't about pushing harder, it's about learning to listen deeper. So let's dive in because your next breakthrough starts right now. Hey y'all, welcome back to Hopeful and Wholesome. It's been a minute since I've done a longer solo episode. So welcome back to another solo episode. I've had some really incredible guests over the past handful of months, and I've really been enjoying the little mini episodes, the Magnetic Minute of Hope episodes on Fridays. And I wanted to bring in a longer conversation today. And I want this to be a conversation that brings about a perspective shift for you, because today's conversation might just change the way that you think about healing forever. And I want it to be that for you, because I really believe that we've reached the edge of functional medicine as we know it. And I feel like I'm trying to choose my words carefully here, the limitations are becoming evident of what exactly functional medicine can do. And this isn't to say we don't need aspects of functional medicine, because I still use functional labs in my work, and I think it's important. But the next level, where we're filling in the gaps, where we're filling in the holes here, it's not just about protocols and what you take, it's about what you transmit. And in this episode, I want to share what I am starting to call energy frequency medicine, this new paradigm of healing that bridges science, the science of functional wellness, and the energetics of frequency and vibration. I'm going to break this down for you. But if you've ever wondered why you're doing everything right, you're eating clean, you're managing your stress, you're taking all the supplements, you're doing the biohacking, you're doing the protocols, but you still feel like you're missing something. You still feel like there's this next level of energy that you just can't quite get to. You feel like you still don't feel at home in your body like you know that you could. Maybe you don't feel like yourself. Maybe the same symptoms keep popping up, or you fix one symptom only for another symptom to pop up in some other way. That's what this episode is for. And I want to talk about why the future of wellness lies in this energetic precision and how frequency shapes the way our body heals. I'm going to talk about energy. I'm going to be talking about a new tool that I'm using to help to kind of map and harmonize these unseen layers under the surface. So let's step into this new paradigm of healing, this future of healing together. And I want to first start by talking about the problem or the limitations with the old paradigm. So I've talked about this for a while now, and especially as I brought in things like human design and the subconscious modalities and some of the energy work that I've been doing with my clients, that there are limitations. Like the data can only get us so far with functional medicine, the labs, which is why I've added all these other modalities into the work that I do. But I've started to see that there's just this one layer deeper, this one layer deeper that we just haven't gotten to yet. Because here's what I'm saying. I'm seeing women, very knowledgeable women about their body and about health and wellness and all the things, but they're still not quite, I'm using air quotes here, there, like where they want to be. They still feel like maybe they're running on empty despite doing everything right. They've done all the healing protocols. They've worked with all the practitioners, maybe even their protocols that they're doing now in the biohacking and all the self-care. It just feels like a second job. Like I'm doing all of these things. I'm spending all my time getting in my protein and my steps and my workouts and my cold plunges and my saunas and my blah, 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 blah. And so what I'm seeing is that we're managing our health, right? We're just managing it rather than really listening to our bodies. And that we've adapted kind of just a cleaner version of the pill for an ill paradigm that we're trying to be the counterculture to, right? The pill for an ill paradigm that the conventional Western medicine model brings us. Instead of taking medications, we're taking supplements or biohacking. It's still managing symptoms though. It's still not getting to the root cause. We're taking the same energy that caused the thing that we're dealing with, the physical thing that we're dealing with. And we're doing all these clean things in that same energy. It's the urgency, it's the frustration, it's the, let's just get rid of it. And this is the limitation, right? This is where the modern model of functional wellness, it really stops at the physical, even when we're talking about the biohacking and the meditations and the supplements and all these things. It can fix the symptoms, but not the frequency that created the symptoms, right? That control, the fear, the urgency, the frustration, just get rid of it. I don't have time for this. It's the same energy that's making us sick, and we're trying to fix it in that same energy. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. And you might have experienced this for yourself, the chronic fatigue, despite all the clean eating and changes you've made. The anxiety and the mental looping and the mental stress, despite doing all the supplements and the meditations and the breath work, right? The hormone imbalances that keep returning, the still feeling off, even when your labs look quote unquote fine. We're trying to fix it all, quote, fix it, which again, I've had episodes about this in the past. Can we change that and not try to fix it? We're trying to fix it in the same energy that got us there. And it doesn't work that way. And so I want this new paradigm to really be this bridge between science and soul. And I love any of these conversations where we're connecting the science and soul, but this is the bridge, right? This is the bridge. You've probably heard that phrase that energy or everything is energy. And I've talked about energy before on the show, and you've probably heard that phrase before. And it's one of those things we say in the wellness space, and we hear it all the time. And I think I've had a few podcast episodes over the past few weeks. We've talked a little bit about this because I think for a while it was kind of woo to talk about energy, but I feel like science has kind of brought it down to earth, where I think we can all recognize and be like, okay, it's not a woo thing. Like, everything is energy. There's tools to measure energy. There's tools to measure your energetic frequency, your aura. Like, there are tools where we can see, like, everything is energy. It's physics, right? And so I think we understand that, but what does it actually mean? And I want to explain this. The simplest way I can explain it is your body is energy before it's matter, right? What we can feel and touch, this is matter, but it is energy first. Every single cell in your body vibrates at a specific frequency, right? Everything, when we say everything is energy, everything is energy. Everything is a vibration. Everything is vibrating. Your heart, your brain, your hormones, your minerals, all of it operates through this electrical and vibrational communication. Again, this is not woo. This is not like spiritual, woo, fluffy stuff. This is science. This is science. We've proven this. So if you've ever had like an EKG or EEG, right, this is your energy being measured, right? Or if you've ever done muscle testing before, right, this is your energy being measured. The human body is an electromagnetic field, electromagnetic system first, and a chemical biological system second. Every emotion, every thought, every pattern that you hold, that you feel, has a frequency too. So when I say energy frequency medicine, what I mean is this: we're not just looking at your body's chemistry, we're looking at its communication. How it's communicating, how the energy part is communicating with the physical part. When the communication breaks down, this is when your body's frequencies are out of sync, if you will. This is when the physical system starts to struggle too. Because again, we are energy first, we are matter second. Our energy is affecting what we're experiencing on the physical body, on the physical plane. And this is why sometimes we can be doing all the right things, eating the clean foods, taking the right supplements, all the things, following the protocol to a T. But we can still feel exhausted or anxious or foggy or depressed or fill in the blank. It's because the electric field is still operating from the old frequency. So yeah, we've adopted all these really great habits, and all of these things are great. And it's great for balancing the physical body, but it's still operating from an old frequency. The one that's shaped by stress, by overdoing, by these emotional residue of things that we haven't worked through yet, from subconscious beliefs that keep the body in survival mode. If you think about it like this, like a metaphor, if you want me to give you a little metaphor here, think about the body as an orchestra. The functional medicine part tunes the instruments, is the physical part, right? This tunes the instruments. But energy frequency medicine, like I'm talking about, this is what conducts the music, right? Without the conductor, everything might be playing notes, but it won't sound harmonious, right? They might be playing notes, but it doesn't sound harmonious. We need the conductor. And that's what the energy does, the energy frequency does. So when we bring energy into the healing process, what we're restoring is coherence. And if you're familiar with Dr. Joe Dispenza's work, which I talk about him all the time here on the show, he talks a lot about heart-brain coherence. And that's what he's talking about. He's talking about restoring coherence between your energy field. And this is how everything works together in rhythm and harmony when it is in coherence. And this is why we can start to see things show up on the physical plane when we start from that energetic place and when we get that energetic coherence first. When we do this, we start with the energy, which affects the physical. This is when we start to feel that flow and balance again. Your digestion regulates, your sleep regulates, deepens, your mind clears, your anxiety clears, your vitality returns, your minerals start to actually balance because your cells finally remember the frequency of safety. That's what they've been looking for this whole time. The frequency of safety, of ease, of coherence. That's what true healing is. And this, when I talk about the bridge between science and soul, this is it. It's functional wellness meets energy frequency. Or frequency medicine, like I'm the word that I've been using now, because it's your body's wisdom gets to lead your life, right? Your body's wisdom gets to lead your life. And this is what makes this next evolution of wellness so powerful. And this is why I'm bringing in what I'm about to talk about, this new piece of the work and these new sessions that I'm creating that I'm calling frequency recalibration sessions, where we're using this device I'm about to talk about to measure your energy field, to decode what's actually out of harmony, and to recalibrate your frequency to match the identity and the expansion that you're growing into. This is the foundation for everything that comes next, because when we understand how energy communicates through the body, we can start using this energy frequency to heal, but also to evolve, because we're leading from that energy place first and not from the physical first. And so I want to break down this word that I've been using, energy frequency medicine, and why I'm calling it this, because you're noticing that I'm not calling it energy work or something like that, because this is totally different. And the fact that I'm putting the word medicine in there is totally different. There's a reason, because first of all, I want to say this. It's not about replacing functional medicine, because as I said from the beginning, it has its place. And I do like the labs, and I value the labs, and I think they're really crucial. Honestly, when somebody's really wanting to heal, this is why it's like, I don't want to do the work without the labs, because I want to see what's going on in the physical body. I don't want to have to guess. So this isn't about replacing that. This is about expanding it. This is about bringing together everything I've learned from functional diagnostics, from mineral balancing, human design, subconscious reprogramming, and now energy frequency and frequency technology, and weaving them together into this cohesive way of healing. And so I started to use the phrase energy frequency medicine because I wanted a name that what I was seeing in my clients is this fusion of science and energy, science and spirituality, this place where frequency becomes medicine. Right? That's what we're leading with the energy frequency. So the energy part, right? When I say energy, I'm talking about your body's life force energy, that electricity in the body that fuels every organ, thought, emotion. It's the current that tells your heart to beat, your cells to regenerate, your hormones to communicate. It's also the current that tells your creativity how to function and your emotions how to function. Every emotion you experience shifts your electrical field, because remember, we've talked about emotions on this show before. Emotions are energy in motion. And when you are experiencing an energy or an emotion, which is energy, I guess, when you're experiencing an emotion, it is a physiological, biochemical reaction in the body. And so it impacts your electrical field. And that ripple determines how your body metabolizes, how it detoxifies, how it receives nutrients or the lack thereof. So again, emotions are energy. It shifts our electrical field. Like, you see how all of this works together. So when we work with energy, we're working at the level of the original signal. None of us are suffering from a supplement deficiency, right? None of us are suffering because we don't do enough meditation. Now, meditation has its place, but that's not what The problem is the original signal is this emotion that's affected our electrical field. So this is the place where the body's messages start before they ever show up as symptoms. And if you've listened to a recent episode I had with Grace, if you haven't listened to it, I recommend to go listen to that because she talks about that in her own personal experience with this and why the physical symptoms show up. The physical symptoms are never the first sign. They're never the first sign. Your body has been giving you signs before the physical symptoms show up. Feelings, emotions in the body are signs and signals in and of themselves. Feelings we have in the body before the headaches or the digestive issues or the hormone issues or any of those things show up. The physical symptoms are the last thing. That's like your body like banging down the door. Like I've been trying to tell you, that's when the physical symptoms show up. It starts on an energetic level though. Now, the frequency part of this term that I'm using, frequency is just this, how we measure vibration. It's the measurable vibration of energy. It's how we can translate something invisible into the visible, into data. And this is where the Healy, the device that I'm using, is so revolutionary. So the Healy is a device. If I had it with me and you're watching online, I would show it to you, but I don't have it in front of me. But it lets you see and measure those energy frequencies. It scans your energy field. It identifies any imbalances or areas of incoherence. And then it uses these microcurrents to gently harmonize those back into balance. So going back to that analogy I used a second ago, it's like tuning a musical instrument. If we're staying with that analogy of the orchestra, your body's the instrument, the Healy is the tuning fork. So when we bring the frequencies back into harmony, your cells can finally communicate clearly again. Your body, your physical body starts to balance out. It means everything from your digestion to your hormones, to your mood, to your energy flow, all of these things start to recalibrate. Now, the medicine part of this phrase, I use the word medicine intentionally because true medicine, when we think about medicine, it can have a really bad connotation because we think about like Western conventional medicine and how it has not exactly served us. And those of us who like want to get to the root cause of the healing and not just put band-aids on things, right? But the word medicine, I'm using intentionally here because this is not about suppression or even substitution. True medicine is about remembrance. And energy frequency medicine reminds the body how to heal itself. It restores that natural intelligence that gets buried under the stress and the trauma and the overdoing and the productivity and the pushing and the forcing and the proving and the performing and all the things. We all have that natural intelligence. It's there. It just gets shoved down under all that conditioning in all of those patterns. And so this is the medicine for the modern woman who has done all the quote right things. She's optimized, she's biohacked, she's supplemented, she's done all these things, but still feels off. Because your body, as I said a second ago, your body isn't craving more supplements. Your body isn't craving another protocol. Your body isn't craving more biohacking or any of those things. Your body wants coherence. That's what it wants. It wants coherence. And it starts, the only way to get coherence is at that energetic level. That's the only way. So how this fits into the functional world, if you will. Traditional functional medicine or functional nutrition, functional wellness, it reads the body's biochemistry, which, as I said, is important. I want to be able to read the body's biochemistry, but energy frequency medicine, like I'm talking about, is going to read the field that informs the biochemistry. Because remember, we are energy first before we are matter. The field, the energy field, is what's informing the physical, how to act. It's the why behind the numbers. It's that missing conversation between your biology and your energy. And so when I'm able to combine your functional labs with the frequency resonance scans that I'm doing with the Healy, we can see where the physical things are showing up. So the labs are going to show us without guessing, like we can look, this is exactly what's going on in the physical body. And these are the energetic patterns and that's contributing, and the subconscious programming that's feeding it. And it's how we go from managing symptoms to creating real, true transformation. And for me, this is the future of functional healing. Like we want to provide or optimize function in the body. This is what it is. This is multidimensional, multifaceted. This is integrated way. It's this precision-based approach that treats you as a whole frequency and not just as a set of numbers. Because I think this is where conventional medicine can do this, and functional medicine can do this as well. It still sets you up as a set of numbers and lab pronouns. And we know that you are not a set of labs. I can look at a set of labs that look exactly the same as this set of labs. But the protocol is going to look completely different because the energy frequency on lab set A and the energy frequency behind lab set B are going to be totally different, which is why you can try the exact same protocol as your neighbor's sister's boyfriend's mom, and it worked. She had this crazy, amazing, incredible transformation, and you try the same thing and you're like, what the heck? This doesn't work at all. This is why cookie cutter approaches don't work. And I've never done cookie cutter approaches. So that's not how I've done my work ever. But this piece makes it so precise and so Hey, y'all, we'll get right back to the episode. But first, let me ask you this. You've built a vision that others admire, and you've built something that you're really proud of. But behind the scenes, your body feels like it's lagging behind. It just can't quite catch up to your brilliance and your mission that you have. That late night second wind, the foggy mornings, the hormone shifts, the endless push and forcing. You can't strategize your way out of that. And you already know you don't need more supplements. You don't need another supplement stack. You also don't need another side hustle disguised as self-care, because nobody wants to have their health as a side hustle. This is about recalibrating your entire ecosystem. And that's why I created the Quantum Reset, a premium 3-month high-touch healing experience for visionary women who are ready to feel as powerful in their bodies as they do in their business. Inside, we decode your nervous system, your minerals, your hormones. We read your labs like the sacred text that it is, so we have actual answers. And then we pair that with deep energetic recalibration, subconscious release. We use gene keys, we use human design, and true embodied healing. This isn't about fixing burnout, because that's not what we're doing here. This is about becoming the woman whose body is powerful, whose body is completely electric, whose energy, clarity, radiance finally matches the size of her mission. If you know your success isn't meant to cost you your vitality, and you're ready for a science-backed, spirit-led reset, then the Quantum Reset is your invitation. So check the link in the show notes or send me a message on Instagram, and let's bring your body back online with your brilliance. Now, let's get back to the show. Curated. It's this energy frequency, because we're all emitting an energy frequency, but now we have the opportunity to read what it's saying, right? And then we can go in to do some of this subconscious work and the rewiring and all these other things that can help shift and change that frequency. But now we know exactly what it is. And this is what we're exploring inside of the sessions I was just talking about, those frequency recalibration sessions, because I'm using the Healy to map your energy field. We're looking at what's out of resonance. And then we can calibrate your frequency to that identity and the expansion you're growing into using there's a lot of different tools I'm using. So I've been doing some sessions lately, and there's some somatic tools that we're using. And it's not about the how isn't really important. It's the fact that we're doing it, that we know what's out of alignment, like where we're out of sync. And then we know how to bring us back into sync. So when you hear me talk about energy frequency medicine, this is what I'm talking about. This is it's a new language of healing. It's a real intersection of where science meets soul. And it's where women like you are able to step into this next level of vitality and power and purpose by attuning and recalibrating and coming into coherence. A couple more things I want to bring into this conversation about energy frequency medicine. I want to first talk about how we're connecting the energy to your physical symptoms. And I have a couple of examples of sessions I've done so far. And so also I'll say this, preface this by saying I have a few episodes coming out probably in a couple weeks, because I'm still working on a couple, or working on one, that are going to be real world examples. Like these I'm doing some sessions with some colleagues and friends of mine who agreed to come on board and be some of the first to try out the Healy and do sessions with me. And so they're going to come on and talk about their experience, what it was like, what they learned, what shifted, all those things. So be on the lookout for that, because that's going to come. So you can hear not from my mouth, from an unbiased opinion of people who've actually done it, experienced it on the other side. So be on the lookout for that. But I want to talk about how the energetic patterns can translate into physical ones. And I've had episodes about this, talking about how the energy connects to the physical. But think about your root center, right? Root frequency and a balance in your root center. And there's a frequency scan I can do on the Healy that measures your aura or your energy field, whichever word resonates with you, whatever word you resonate with. And it basically looks at the energy of your chakras or your energy centers and where the energy is flowing and where it maybe not flowing. So for this particular scan, if there was a root center imbalance, things that we would see are things like on the physical body would be chronic stress, adrenal fatigue, adrenal issues, potential thyroid issues since our adrenals and our thyroid talk to each other. If there's issues with the heart center, there's some sort of distortion in the frequency of the heart center. Things like anxiety would show up, things like self-worth issues, which also can cause gut issues, which can cause immune issues. Those are the things kind of related there. If there's issues with the throat center, which is something that I saw in one of the sessions I've done so far, the throat center, as we know, is related to the thyroid. So we're going to see thyroid issues and we'll see metabolism issues. So again, it's just connecting the dots and seeing exactly why the physical things are showing up. So I'm going to give you a couple examples of some of the sessions I've done so far. One of the gals I was doing, and she's been a guest on my podcast before, we'll probably talk about this, or we will talk about this in our episode. So we're going through her session and we did her aura scan or her energy field scan. She didn't mention this, it was later in the conversation that she mentioned this, but I was seeing a lot of things show up in her scan that was talking about boundaries and how she needed to set better boundaries, energetic boundaries, emotional boundaries. She was taking on too much stuff from other people. And I had already looked at her human design chart. I think she has every center but two undefined, and some of them are completely open. She has so much undefined centers in her chart and openness in her chart. So she's taking in a lot of energy. So I'd already seen that before we did her scan. But so a lot of things are coming up in this scan, talking about boundaries and emotions and taking on things from other people. And so later on in the conversation, she somehow brings up that, she's talking about her health and some goals she had for her health and stuff. And she mentioned that her A1C had been kind of climbing and she was not concerned, but she's like, hey, I need to get this down. And she's super active, super healthy, does all the things. And she's like, what the heck? I need to get this in control. And I'm like, hold on a second. Let's go back to this. You just told me that you're having issues with your A1C, right? Your blood sugar, having some blood sugar issues here. And remember what we saw in your emotional solar plexus. So in her solar plexus in the scan, there was some incoherence that was going on in that center. The solar plexus is our emotional center, and it is connected with a handful of our detox organs, including the pancreas. Pancreas is responsible for emitting insulin that helps with regulate our blood sugar. And her mind was blown right there. I'm like, all of this stuff just told you how you need to be setting better energetic boundaries, emotional boundaries, all the things. And then you're telling me that you have issues with your A1C. Hello, this is how we're putting it together. So a lot of the work that we did for her integration after the session was about the boundaries, and her because she had some other really mind blowing things come up. That came up a handful more times after about the boundaries and stuff. So again, connecting it to the physical body, she's like, okay, now I get it. This is something I really have to be intentional about, is the boundaries. So I just wanted to give you that as an example of us tying together the pieces and connecting the dots. And like I said, when those episodes come out, you'll be able to have more of those examples. But just mind blowing. Another one of the gals deals with anxiety, really high anxiety. And there was a lot in there. And I mentioned a second ago about the heart center and how anxiety and self-worth are big issues there. And that came up for her and her energy scan, her aura scan, issues going on in the heart center. And it is all connected. It's all connected. So I want to just paint you this picture one more time of this as the new paradigm of healing, because I really think that we're entering an era where functional health and frequency medicine are merging. And I think that more and more people are going to become aware. More of us are becoming awake, I think, and more of us are going to become aware that there are limitations, that as much as functional medicine has helped so many people kind of get out of that Western medicine paradigm and to be able to start to heal things, more people are becoming awake and more people are becoming aware that there are still limitations, that functional medicine can still just be a cleaner version of conventional Western medicine. When you're still being compared to your labs and you're not looked at as a human, when we're just giving you supplements instead of medications and we're not really getting to the real reason why these things are happening. This is the future of healing, because when we're not concerned about just symptom suppression and quote, getting rid of it, then we can actually focus on the healing. Like this is an activation. This is a recalibration. That's what it is. We're not chasing symptoms. We're not chasing the healing. We can embody it because I understand my energy field. I understand my frequency, and I can start from there. This is the integration of mineral intelligence, because I love mineral balancing, energy alignment, frequency calibration. All of this comes together into this really cohesive way of recalibrating your body and bringing your body into coherence. So if you are listening to this and this is piquing your interest, if you want to know more, first of all, stand by for the next few episodes and the next couple weeks that are going to be, I think are going to really be interesting for you to hear firsthand of some gals doing the sessions. But if you are listening and you really are craving that deeper level of healing, that actually includes this piece, the why behind the why. That's what I always say to my clients. It's the why behind the why. This is it. This is it. This is it. It's being able to get out of the energy that created the symptoms in the first place. And that doesn't, I'm also a believer that anything is possible, but it typically doesn't just happen by itself. It's not a magical thing where you decide like, oh, I'm going to heal it, and it just heals. Like this is something that we have to be intentional about, recalibrating our energy field and our frequency. And this is it. This is not about taking more things or doing more biohacking or more protocols. It's the frequency from which you live. It's the frequency. And that is what I'm helping women do inside of these frequency recalibration sessions, where we use the Healy device to recode your energy field and align your body with the energy frequency, with the vibration of who you're becoming. Because when your energy shifts, everything follows. Everything else follows. And I did either a post, or I might have talked about this in a podcast episode before, but I have had multiple women who've worked with me who has done other work. This before I started using the Healy too, right? I want to give you an idea of how when your energy shifts, everything follows. They worked with other practitioners. They've done other, healing modalities. They've tried, energy things. They've tried other things, and it didn't work. And they were on their own journey for a while, and then they found me and they wanted to try something different. Maybe, they'd never done the mineral balancing before. Maybe they've never tied in the human design pieces. So it's like, okay, I'll try something different. But because they went into working with me from a different energetic place, when they had gone to the other practitioners, they had gone into it like, God, just fix me. Like, I want to get rid of these. But then when they came to me, it was from more of a place of curiosity, like, hey, I've never tried this before. Let me try something different. Then things started to shift for them. Maybe even some of the things I was asking them to do, they've tried before. Maybe other practitioners had told them to try that before. They tried it on their own and it didn't work before. But now all of a sudden it is. Why? When I tried this before, it didn't work, but now it is. It's the energy you're doing the thing in. That's it. When your energy shifts, everything follows. And when we're able to measure and look at your energy frequency with the Healy device that I'm using, this is how we know what needs to shift. What is asking to be shifted? Where in your energy field? Where are the gaps? Where are the holes? Where are the areas? Where are the areas that are out of coherence, that are out of balance? This is it. So if your intuition is perked up here and your intuition is like, holy moly, I need this right now. I am opening up sessions now to the masses, where I had just been doing it, like I said, for some friends, some colleagues, and then some clients that I was already working with. I'm opening these sessions up. And these sessions, the frequency recalibration sessions, these don't involve the labs. This is just a session to recalibrate your energy field. So this is us using the Healy device to measure your energy frequency field and taking some steps from there. I'm not going to tell you everything else that's involved, because it doesn't matter, because once you do it, then now we shift your energy field. So I'm going to leave the link below. You can DM me on Instagram. You can just DM me frequency if you want to learn more. I'll put a link below for a single session. And I am so excited about this. Like, I have been so excited to bring this to y'all, but I've just been kind of like tinkering with it behind the scenes and then trying it out with some clients and then some friends. And then I decided, okay, let me do some like actual sessions and then do like some case study episodes. So I'm excited to bring you all of this so you can hear in real time how it works for people and people's real experience with this thing. It's just such a powerful tool. And I forgot to say this part too. So I found this how I found it, because I know people have asked me that before and I've been doing sessions. So I use a tool from within a coaching group that I was in. She used the tool. She's a spiritual human design, embodiment coach. And so she was using the Healy in a particular way. And it piqued my interest. And I'm like, so I kept thinking about it. And I just kept having my intuitive hits just kept coming like, this is what you need to bring in. Like, this is the next thing. This is the next layer. And so anyway, I made the decision, but using it when I did my session with her, I think we had sessions with her. I mean, there were so many mind-blowing things that happened in that session. And I have been able to shift so much of my conditioning from those sessions of learning, like what's going on in my energy field and the frequency and all that. It's just mind-blowing. Decided to bring it in, and here we are. So I'm excited to bring this to you. I'm going to leave the link in the comments if you're interested in the session, or the show notes, I mean. And then you can message me on Instagram if you want to chat more about it. You can always email me. Be on the lookout for a handful of episodes coming out in the next couple weeks where you'll be able to learn more about it. And I will see you all next time.